Hello, and you're from the PMP, the Philippine Misereor Partnership, and could you please explain what is your organization and what does it?
So this is a Philippine Misereor Partnership. There are lots of social action centers and non-government organizations, and we started also with people's organization to serve as partners in particular issues that affect generally all of us. I think we are one of the countries that really has been faced with a very, very high increase of population every year. And of course, the implication there is the more people there are, the more social services that we have to render, especially on the part of the government. And it is also well known that there are more people to be served. There are more poor people to be taken care of. And this has a very, very strong implications in terms of our development strategies or planning. The biggest problem now is our government cannot even generate enough revenues to serve the people, to give them a good standard or humane life. That's why our government has been resorting to borrowing. We've been indebted trillions of pesos in debt. So that's now the problem.
What is with the people who live in the cities?
People from the provinces flock to the cities because of the belief that they find jobs here in the city. And that's why we have now the slum areas. People have to just put their houses anywhere, even if it is dangerous, just so that they can, they have space, because they believe that here in the city, they could, find work either by selling something or being just an employee of some of the companies that could perhaps take them in. But the overcrowding in the Islam area is also a big headache of our government here.
Do people find job in the cities, or do they just believe it while they live in the countryside?
Not really, because you see, even people would sleep along the streets. We have street children, we have street adults. So this is now one of the implications of people flocking into the city, crowding into the city, and jobs are not really enough, because even our own professionals, the so-called already graduates in college, have difficulties looking for jobs. How much more for the uneducated people? So it could just be manual labor, menial labor, but this is not really enough for everybody who come here.
In the year 2000, the United Nations set up the Millennium Development Goals. One of the aims was to halve the poverty in the world. Have the Philippines a chance to reach this aim until 2015?
It's very impossible. In fact, there were assessments made already. Poverty incidence in many of the regions in the Philippines has been very, very high. These goals on education, goals on health, especially the maternal and infant health care, seems like it will be very, very difficult for us to achieve that. You see now, you can now make a correlation, strong relationship between high population and the social services that could be rendered by the government. How come many children could not afford to go to school? How come the participation rate in school is low? How come that only few could finish elementary or secondary education? All these have a strong relationship with poverty. Families could hardly afford to, send their children to school because they are poor. Sometimes we hear children don't even have notebooks. few books just shared from among the kids in a classroom. So there is what we call also a shift in the approach of developing our people from welfare, where we just give, for free everything they need. This time we consider them partners in development. We help them how to manage a livelihood. We bring them the appropriate technology. We link them with the market. We also provide them with capital. This is what our people need. But if only we can create employment right there in their village, it would be more sustainable than just distributing 500 each to every poor family. That's the new approach that we are trying to develop so that we can help our government attain the so-called Millennium Development Goals.